Happy Friday, and you're so welcome to today's episode of the Room Junkie Show, where we are going to be talking about functionality in design. That was me setting us up on Instagram. Okay, so we're talking about functionality in design, and I'm sure when you saw that topic, you thought, oh, this sounds so boring. What is she going to be talking about today? And let me tell you that functionality in design is so incredibly important. Because if you don't have a home that works, if you don't have a space that flows properly, if you don't address function as your number one priority in designing a room or your home or a new build or an extension, let me tell you, you have nothing, because there is no point in having a space that looks absolutely gorgeous, that is perfectly color coordinated, that's beautifully accessorized, if it doesn't work. So say hello to me. Hi, Kavina. I will catch up with you later. I apologize. This morning has been one of the craziest mornings I've had in a long, long time. I'm really chasing my tail and we're heading away for the weekend. So I'm going to be even under more pressure in a bit, but it's all good. So listen, let me know where you are in the world and let me know what the weather is like, because I can tell you that our weather is lousy. I cannot see the sea out there because the clouds are down on top of it. And I had planned that we would do so much beach walking and things when we were away. I don't know if that's going to happen, but the hotel has a spa, so that might have its compensations. But functionality in design, functionality in your everyday living. Functional home means that your home has enough storage space. Not only that it has enough storage space, but that storage space actually adequately meets whatever your particular needs are. Maybe it's in your wardrobe, in your walk-in wardrobe, and you've got tons and tons of clothes. Maybe it's in your kids' playroom. Maybe you've got storage, bespoke storage put in under the stairs to keep your stairs really tidy. Maybe it's built-in units in your living room. You know, whatever storage that you need. You need to think about that function very, very carefully, because if you think about it, particularly if you're having storage built for you, you can bespoke order what you need. So say it's your walk-in closet. Maybe you're somebody like me who wears lots of dresses. Well, you're going to have lots of tall hanging space, but maybe you wear jeans and shirts all the time. So you can create that. If you wear lots of sweaters, you can have cubbies for your sweaters. You can create whatever storage solutions you need. Laundry is a big issue in many people's homes. So I would give huge consideration into the layout and the design of your utility room, and also where you're going to be doing your ironing. Maybe you will make sure that your hot press is big enough to have an iron and an ironing board up there all the time. In our last house, we actually had an ironing room, and that's all it was. It was just an ironing board and the irons and lots of, those rails like you have in shops where I used to hang things. And I also discovered that if I hung my dresses and nail shirts there as they came out of the wash, it was much easier to, and I put them on hangers straight away, it was much easier to iron them. So to think about this, think about what you need to make your life easy on a daily basis. The layout of your kitchen is really important. If you are designing a new, oh God, tell me I'm not going to start sneezing. Changes of weather always does this to me. But say you're thinking of changing your kitchen or changing the layout of your kitchen, or Kavina, you are remodeling your kitchen. So now is a good time to be thinking about things that didn't work in that existing kitchen and things that did. I think the work triangle is less important anymore because so many people have islands, but make sure your kitchen works for you. An awful lot of functionality is common sense as well. Things like that you don't think about, the swing of a door. It's so important. Many's a time I have worked on a revamp of a room, and you'll really only do this if you're revamping and changing the electrics, where the door was actually blocking the view of the room and making the room seem so small. I remember once a bachelor pad that I did in Letterkenny, and one of the things I did in the living room was so pokey, because and the door just, this mahogany door just opened into the room. So I changed the swing of that door and had it going towards the wall, so that the minute you opened the door, you saw the whole vista of the room and it opened it up. And the reason I say you only do this really if you're revamping is because the electrical light switch is probably, not probably, is definitely in position. So it mightn't be just so easy. But if you're starting from scratch, always consider the opening of your door in every single room. Do not just go by the layout on your plans. Same if you're designing a new bathroom. or if you've got a new build, don't go with the plans as they were drawn out. It's more than likely that CAD designed that bathroom layout. So think about, particularly where you want to have your toilet, think about what your focal point is going to be when you open the door. Think about the swing of the door. Always have the whole vista of your room open to welcome you as you're coming in. That's function in design. Kavina said, you wouldn't believe how important the swing of a door is. An education and makes such a difference. Absolutely. Kavina could write a book. Kavina has done my Sharing the Secrets course anyway, a long time ago, and now she's using it on her fabulous new extension. But it is all common sense, and it's things that you don't think about. But I'll tell you, if you do it wrong, you'll remember that mistake forever and ever and ever. Another thing that I would advise people to do is to think about, particularly for you guys who are new building or extending your home, think about what your current needs are and think about what your needs might be later on. Maybe you have got young kids now. Maybe you have got pets. Maybe somebody in your home has mobility issues. Maybe somebody's got reduced eyesight or eyesight impairment. So these are things that you're going to have to. Maura Mackey, my beautiful, gorgeous interior designer friend down in Cork. Hello, Maura. I'm hoping the sun is shining on you. And there's Anne-Marie Kearns. Anne-Marie is another design expert. She has used Sharing the Secrets in her old house. She used to sell her house, and now she's using it in her gorgeous brand new house. So we've all the experts coming in today, Kavina, Maura, and Anne-Marie. But do consider, or even if you've got somebody in your family who visits quite a lot, maybe a parent who has mobility issues. In our old the house that we built, we had lots of steps. They were gorgeous, like with this massive big open plan kitchen come living room come dining room, and we had 2 steps down to the den, which looked amazing. But if you had mobility issues, you wouldn't be using that den. Likewise, going up the hall, we had 2 steps as well. From an architectural perspective, they looked amazing. Thankfully, we were all able-bodied and the kids were too. But it's just to think about this. I want you to think about this, and I want you to think about this before you do anything. It's a bit like the other day when I said, make all your changes on paper when we're talking about budgets. Don't be making changes. And Dolores is there too. This is a congregation of absolute experts today. Lovely to see you, Dolores. Yeah, so think about this long in advance of things needing to be made. And it's always good to plan out your design when you're not under pressure. Don't do it on the back burner because the builder has come to you to say, right, Dolores, I need to know what the painter wants to know, what color you're putting on the walls. The tiler wants to know what tiles are going where. And we need to know the layout of whatever. And you panic because you've been dithering and mithering and going from shop to shop to shop, and you can't make up your mind. And that's a disaster. And that is not where you want to be. I want you to be calm, cool, and collected. I want you to make knowledge-based decisions in everything that you do. This is your home. It's your money. It's your investment. I want you to have the very, very, very best home, regardless of what your budget is. I don't care whether your budget is very low, medium, or very high. You can still achieve the home of your dreams, regardless of budget, if you're savvy and if you're knowledgeable enough. So think about all of these things. Not sexy. I'm not talking about beautiful furniture yet, not talking about colors or color schemes or fabrics or finishes, but the practical components of and the layout and the space planning of your home is just so, so, so important. One of the biggest things I think that most people struggle with is not having enough storage. Can you have too much storage in a house? I think you probably can. Actually, in the house that we built, we did have a ridiculous amount of storage, which was fantastic, except it came with a disadvantage as well. It meant that I filled every single bit of that storage facility, areas, cupboards, whatever, with stuff. And it was only when we were leaving that we had to declutter ruthlessly. And that's when I discovered the incredible therapeutic merit of decluttering. And listen, for anybody who, because truthfully, if you're going to embark on a design project in your home, I've said this to you a couple of times, will you please do a clear out? Do a ruthless declutter before you start. Honestly, Dolores and Kavina are both doing my Reset 2024, the decluttering course. And they're doing brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly, because Kavina is obviously has got this beautiful new extension. She doesn't want to be taking clutter into that. And Dolores has got, you've got great focus anyway. And actually everybody in that course, we're actually, and tomorrow, Monday's last week, girls, Monday's week 5. It's hard to believe. And all of you have achieved amazing things. And life has thrown a lot of stuff at you because in the last 4 weeks, some of you have had sick kids. One of you has broken your ankle in 3 places, and one of you has had 2 bereavements in a week. So life is tough and life hits us at times. But you know what? I think when you've got a decluttered home, your mind is decluttered. It helps you to cope with things better. So the good news is on the 19th of February, because the current reset course has been so amazing, I'm going to run it again on the 19th of February. So it's 5 weeks on a Monday evening, for about an hour every Monday evening. Sometimes we're a bit less, sometimes we go over a little bit, with I've made it so easy. You know, it's a step-by-step process. It works. I'm a lazy girl. I like to make things easy. My word for last year was ease. So I want it to be easy for you too. And honestly, if I didn't believe it, if I didn't fully believe in this process, I'm believing it now because the girls have all achieved amazing things over the last couple of weeks. You know, I got emotional seeing some of the photographs, to be honest, and it's fantastic. Absolutely, it's a life skill. So if anybody wants to know more about that, this course it's a live course every Monday evening, but I'm also giving you a bonus too, because I have recorded an online decluttering course, which some of you have done as well. So I'm going to give you that, I gift you that at the end, not at the beginning, because I want you to work through the modules with me week by week by week and chart your progress. And then afterwards, you get the online course for free as a bonus, because I want you to have that to carry you going forever and ever and ever. Hi, Jane. Must be raining in Dublin too if Jane's not out and about running or walking or doing something. It was great to see you. So that's if anybody wants to start clearing out their home and just get on top of that clutter, because some of the girls who are doing it already, finishing up with me on Monday. There's my phone, Richard. I'm sorry, darling, I can't chat to you. And now he's throwing my concentration. Kavina, once you get into decluttering, it is addictive. It actually is. It becomes your superpower. It's just, I can't describe it. You know, and for me, I'm an untidy person, so I have to work hard at order, you know, and all of that. James, it's not raining in Dublin, but it's pretty miserable. Maybe it's miserable everywhere. But anyway, start thinking about the function of your home, because it is so incredibly, incredibly important. Space planning is very, very important too. Before I even think about designing the aesthetics of any space, I will always look at the space available and figure out the layout and the flow. And you know, any of you who've done my Sharing the Secrets, the other course that I have, the interior design course, and Jane has done it, Kavina has done it, Dolores has done it, Harry's done it. Wow, there's lots of alumni here this afternoon. I do show you how to organize your layout and flow, because it is really, really, really important. You've often heard the interior design term form follows function, and you mightn't fully understand what it means. And quite simply what it means is you choose a function first, and then you choose the aesthetics and the style. So for an example of that would be if you are getting new sofas for your space. Well, before you start looking at color and style of sofa and brands and fabrics and all of that, first thing you need to do is figure out the optimum size of sofa for your space, the length of it, the width of it. Very, very important, because if you've got a narrow room, you know, I love those big squashy sofas that you could sit 10 people on, you know, and that you can really curl up on and put your legs up under you. But if you've got a narrow space, that's going to dwarf your room in the worst possible way, and it's an absolute waste of money. But lots of sofas are neater, and they can be custom made a little bit neater anyway, if that's what you need. So, you know, choosing exactly the right, and putting down your newspapers, talked about this during the week as well, putting down your newspapers, figuring out the size, and then going to the shop with this guideline. It makes it very easy for whoever you're buying the sofa from to accommodate exactly what you want. And only when you know exactly what size, shape, configuration, maybe you want an L-shaped sofa, well, be very careful that you know whether you want the long piece on the right or the left-hand side. And, you know, oftentimes you can design your own bespoke piece of furniture, because some of the manufacturers will actually make for you what you want. And in smaller spaces and bigger spaces, it's easy. You just, you go big and you go bold, you've loads of space. It's not so challenging. It's always more difficult in a smaller space. Like I told you before, if you've got a long, narrow room like that, what most people do is put a 3-seater here and 2 chairs here, and you probably got the fireplace here. I would suggest, if you can, to get 2 2-seaters and have them here with your chair here. It definitely makes a room, the configuration and the visuals of the room, it just gives a sense of the sofa's going this way with the 2 chairs in the linear. But what you're doing here is you're actually giving this visual effect of increasing the length of the shorter wall. It's a bit like if you've got low ceilings and you put in a vertically striped wallpaper, it does actually give the illusion of increasing the sense of height. Same as taking your curtains all the way up as high as you can on your pole. That visually lifts your eye up and tricks you into thinking that your ceilings are higher than they are. So has anybody got any questions? I'm not going to stay too long today because I have so much to do, and I'm going to have to ring Richard in Australia as well. Any questions at all? And if you come in the replay, just give me a hashtag replay. And oh gosh, I just realized I knocked off Instagram. How did I do that? Apologies. I've done it again. So we're not live on Instagram, I don't think, but we're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. And if you come in the replay, just give me a hashtag replay. And if you have any questions to ask me, please do. So for the weekend, think about the function of your home. Think about what works and what doesn't. And there may be things that you can do, things like changing the position of your furniture. Now, if your bathroom doesn't work, and the function and the layout of your bathroom doesn't work, unless you're putting in a new bathroom, you're not going to be changing that. But there's plenty that you can do, to change. Or maybe what you need to do is, if you know that you haven't got enough storage, maybe you should start thinking about how you could better introduce storage into your home. And I will do a whole segment on storage in the next couple of weeks as well. And if you've got topics that you want me to talk about, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about next week. I'll decide that when I'm away. But if there's a topic that would help you in your house, put it in that comment box, because always the topics and the suggestions that you give me are way better than the ones that I have. And I can tell you, if you have an issue in your house, so does somebody else who may be too shy to say, would you talk about this because I'm struggling with whatever. So have a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous weekend. Don't let the weather stop you. It is not going to stop me. I bring my raincoat with me and my umbrella, but I suspect I might be doing a little bit of spa stuff as well, which I'm looking forward to. I'll be back on Monday at 1 o'clock. And I look forward to that. The weekend will go in a heartbeat. But do send me topics, anything that you want me to discuss or talk about, please, or ideas for guest experts to come in. I've been talking to a couple of people, but I haven't actually nailed down times and days yet, but I will do, because that'll just add a little bit of interest. And do remember, if you're thinking, some of you before had thought about doing the reset challenge, the course, the decluttering course, send me a little message, put a reset here, and I'll put you on the wait list for that. Some of you are on it already, because I definitely will run it again. It was so successful, small class, so it's a gorgeous, intimate group, and yeah. And everybody has done extremely, extremely well with different challenges and different situations, but I'm very proud of all of them. It's been brilliant. And also remember, if you were thinking of doing the interior design course, this is Sharing the Secrets course, it will be on that special offer of only €49 instead of €297 until the last day in February, which is the 29th, and then that's it. It will not be available at that price ever again. And also, if you sign up before Sunday, before Sunday, I have a free workshop coming up for everybody who's enrolled yet, and anybody who enrolls this week, where we will talk about how to get started on your design. And I will take live questions on that workshop as well, so that it's going to give you a really, really powerful start. So that's something very special for you. It's 2 special things for you. They're the 2 courses that I have at the minute. And you know what? I'm very proud of both of them, because they're getting great results. So have the most wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on Monday at 1 o'clock. Stay safe and stay fabulous, and get out in that fresh air, even if it's lashing rain, because that's what I'm going to do.